His opening statement has been released, and in it he says he didn't collude with Russia. The statement also mentions the meeting with a Russian lawyer that's been in the headlines lately. Joining me from Washington, our correspondent Philip Crowther. Philip, so tell us more then about what Jared Kushner will say later today.
Pretty confident statement, this one from Jared Kushner, with some pretty unequivocal parts to it. First of all, the one you just mentioned, I did not collude, says Jared Kushner, the president's son-in-law, in that statement that he will presumably be reading to staffers of the Senate Intelligence Committee in the very, very short while. That's the same statement that he will be giving or reading to members of the House Intelligence Committee on Tuesday. So Jared Kushner says he himself did not collude, and he's also confident that no member of the Trump campaign colluded with Russia either, at least as far as he knows. And he, of course, was very much a member of the inner circle of Donald Trump, the candidate. Now, he details 4 meetings he had with Russians, and he says nothing improper ever happened. That includes that now infamous meeting in Trump Tower that was organized by Donald Trump Jr., the president's son, together with a go-between who was promising Russian government information that would be detrimental to Hillary Clinton. That's a meeting to which Jared Kushner was also invited, and at which, according to both Donald Trump Jr. and Jared Kushner, he spent some time, but it was a waste of time, according to this statement from Jared Kushner. He's going into this confident, and he's saying that he has, quote, nothing to hide.
Philip, once these testimonies are over, that won't be it for this scandal, though, will it?
No, and not the testimonies won't even be over either. There are so many this week. Jared Kushner twice. And then there is that appearance, or what we were expecting to be an appearance, from Donald Trump Jr. himself and Paul Manafort, the former campaign manager for the Donald Trump campaign. They were expected to testify in public on Wednesday in front of the Senate Judiciary Committee. It appears that won't happen right now. They might be doing this behind closed doors. They might be interviewed. They might hand over documents, and the public testimony might come out at another point. But that is a crucial meeting that could still make news this week. There is another reason why this is Russia week, again for the White House in a sense, because there is a sanctions bill that will be voted on in the House of Representatives also most likely this week. That is a bill that would punish Russia for its meddling in the U.S. election. Now, that seems pretty straightforward because the intelligence agencies in the United States have come to the conclusion that Russia and the highest echelons of its government did want to intervene in the presidential election in 2016. The problem is the U.S. president himself doesn't really agree with that. Seems to be the only person in the country who doesn't believe that Russia meddled in the U.S. presidential election. And he does not want this sanctions bill to come through and arrive on his desk. He wants that freedom to be able to negotiate with the Russia of Vladimir Putin. But when it does arrive on his desk, and that will probably be the case this week, he will either have to agree to sanctions on Russian officials, that would hurt his new relationship with Vladimir Putin, or he might decide to veto it, thereby seemingly agreeing to whatever Vladimir Putin wants. It's a very complicated week for the US president, and again, so much has to do with Russia.
Thank you very much indeed for that update from Washington, Philip. Philip Crowther.